Namaste. This is JVWU Dr. Vishal Saxena, Professor in Mathematics in Faculty of Education and Methodology, JAYOTI VIDYAPEETH Women's University, Jaipur. So today we are going to discuss on a module of sampling, and it's a one component that is called probabilistic sampling. This module, this part belongs to the course of research methodology and biostatistics, and under the program of BPT 6 semester and B Pharma 8 semester. So today's topic is about the sampling procedure and the one of its part that is called probabilistic sampling. So first we have to understand what is meaning of sampling. The sampling means it is a method to select a sample, or it is the way to construct a sample. So already in the previous lectures, we have discussed about the sample and the population concepts, and why a sample is made from the population. Yes, we have discussed already these topics. So in the today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the sampling process. So it is rarely feasible to get information from every member of a group, and if you are studying, rather you pick a sample. So means when a group of individuals is large or bigger, then it is very difficult to just get the information for this make the correct results for our population, for our so you employ. and if every person in the population should be included in the sampling frame. Means here in the simple random sampling procedure, the method no one should be excluded from the population to make the sampling frame. You can employ methods that completely rely on chances, such as random number generators, to carry out this kind of sampling. So how we can perform the simple random sampling? It is important. The simple random sampling can be just done by generating the simple random numbers and to get carry out of this kind of sampling. So first, uh, the population, and then it can be just done for the whole sample. So it is the easiest way to make a sample, and sometimes this one is very good, no? But systematic sampling is more better as compared to simple random sampling because it is the method by which the sampling process can be done in a systematic procedure, and that's why just it can be is taken as a good one. So while systematic sampling is generally a little simpler to carry out, so ultimately it is now become more easier compared to random sampling, and it is comparable to sampling. This is explanation for this stage in alphabetical order. Suppose we are having the data of company's personnel, means the employees of a company. Then first the list should be arranged in the alphabet. Then we are taking the first selection as a sixth. We can it is starting point of the first 10 numbers. After 6 and should be at this number should be taken from the every 10 members of the population, and that's why just we have just selected in this way. Suppose first member is sixth, then the next will be 16th, 26th, 36th, and so on. So when using this method, it is critical to ensure that the list does not contain any hidden parameters. So that is very important for performing this kind of sampling, because if we want to get the good results, then the sampling process, the population must be like here just divided or be arranged in a systematic order. Means any particular or the hidden pattern should not exist there. If if this kind of the hidden pattern is there in the population in the sampling frame, then definitely this will not give the good results. Next, the stratified sampling. The stratified sampling entails breaking the population up to into the smaller groups. So first we have to like understand what is stratified sampling procedure. So in this sampling procedure, first the population is divided into several smaller subgroups, and each smaller subgroup is called the strata. So each this subgroup is called strata, and by guaranteeing that the each subgroup is fairly representing in the sample. So it means the each subgroup that is selected, that is made, is showing the fairly the whole sample, by representing that each subgroup is fairly representing the sample. So it enables you to get more accurate conclusions. So, and using this sampling technique, you construct strata within the population according to specific features. So just we have this said like uh, whole population is divided into several subgroups, and each subgroup is called strata. So these strata can be made according to some specific features. For example, gender, identity, age, age range, income bracket, or the work position. So in this way, strata can be made. Now you choose the number of individuals who should be sampled from each category based on the population, so overall population. Next, you choose a sample from each subgroup that using the either systematic or the random sampling selection. So in this way, next you select, I think. subgroup characteristics should be comparable, means every subgroup should have the same characteristics as our sample which is to be made. You choose complete subgroup at random rather than picking a representative sample of the each subgroup. So in the stratified sampling, what we have to do, we have to select the members from each strata in a equal proportion, in a required proportion to make the sample. But in the cluster sampling, this is not required. What to do? First, divide the group should have the same characteristics as the sample. Uh, sub uh, we select any one of the subgroup as our sample, because all the samples, all the subgroups have are having the same characteristics as the required sample. So just it is the difference between the stratified and cluster sampling, that the cluster sampling means any one of the subgroup can be selected as sample from the whole population. So try to include every person from every sample cluster if at all feasible. So means sometimes it is not possible. Try to include every person from every sample cluster if at all feasible. You can also use one of the following methods to sample individuals from each cluster if the cluster themselves are large. Sometimes the clusters are large, then we have to select some of the members from that cluster, and that is called the cluster sampling. So we can see one example to understand this one. Uh, with nearly the same number of workers in the comparable roles, the company maintains offices in 10 different locations around the nation. Suppose a company is having 10 different offices at 10 different locations, 10 different cities. Suppose then you can't visit every office to get the data you need, but every from every place it is very difficult to get the data. So you use the random sampling to pick any three of the offices and which become your clusters. So in this way the clusters are just selected here, any any three of the offices, and in this way now here one of the cluster can be taken as a sample, and this is the method of cluster sampling. So the sampling and the probabilistic sampling is important part of this method sampling process, and to analyze the population from the sample. So we have discussed these points today, and with this here I'm just concluding my today's lecture. Thank you.